Hey everybody, we're going to be doing a video, 17 Reasons Why Atheism Just Doesn't Make Sense. You're going to find this very interesting. And I do encourage you to download this video and you can put it on your channel. Don't forget to add this to your Twitter page and your Facebook page. And most of all, click share below this video and send this to your atheist friends. Maybe together we can get them to listen to reason and logic. What we're going to do is we're going to go through 17 reasons why atheism just doesn't make sense, and we're going to count the numbers backwards, 17, 16, 15, all the way up to number 1. You ready? Let's go. Now as we go through this, I'm going to be pointing out some videos that are pretty shocking. Let's start off with a major bombshell announcement by the Atheist Experience Show, and here's the video here. The Atheist Experience Show has now admitted that the resurrection of Jesus Christ is possible. This is phenomenal for an atheist show to admit that Jesus Christ could have risen from the dead. This is not good for atheism. This is a very rare video. The atheist community keeps getting rid of this video right here. I'm going to show you where you can get it, though. I strongly urge you to download it and save it to your computer. You're going to hear the Atheist Experience Show here admit that Jesus could have indeed risen from the dead. This means that on an atheist show, even the atheists are saying that the resurrection of Jesus Christ is possible. Here's what you do. Go to shotgunnow.net, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be faithless, but believe. And when you go there, scroll down here and listen to this video. You're going to hear it come right from the atheist's mouth. They're going to admit that Jesus Christ could have risen from the dead, and it is possible. This is just a phenomenal video. Again, go to shotgunnow.net or click below the video if you see the URL there, and go here and listen to this epic 13-minute and 40-second video. This is a live Christian caller that calls into a live TV show, cable show, or whatever, and gets the atheist to admit that the resurrection of Jesus Christ can be true. Don't forget to go there, and don't forget to tweet this and add this to your Facebook page. This is one of the 17 reasons why atheism just doesn't make sense. If you're admitting that the resurrection of Jesus Christ is possible, then you can't be an atheist. You really can't. See, I am a Christian, and I'm willing to admit that atheism is not possible. And let's go through some more reasons, and you'll see why. Number 16, atheism is very, very evasive. Check this out. When you go to shotgunnow.net, scroll down here, and look at this video here. This is from what's called the Reason Rally, where these atheists went and they had this big meeting, and God rained on the Reason Rally. This is why it's all cloudy and rainy. God's like, you know what, atheism's all washed up. I'm just going to rain on their parade here. So what happens is you have these Christians that are filming the whole thing, and they're asking atheists very simple questions, and the atheists are evading like Bill Clinton. Oh, well, that all depends. What is it? I want you to listen to me. I'm only going to say this one time. I mean, it was hilarious. See right here where it says must see? Go down here to shotgunnow.net. See it right there? And when you go there, first you can see the video where the atheists admit Jesus' resurrection could be true. And then scroll all the way down here and listen to this. You've never seen atheists evade questions like you'll see them doing at the Reason Rally. Do you know there was a bunch of atheists saying that it was possible for God to exist, and there's a bunch of atheists saying it's impossible? They can't even get their story straight. At least with Christianity, it clearly claims God exists. But atheism, you know, that's another problem, is you got atheists saying it's possible, you got atheists saying it's impossible. But this guy here is just totally evasive. You've got to see it. I've never seen someone evade little easy softball questions like this atheist agnostic did. Okay, Let us mosey on down to number 15. Below this video, and when you go here to shotgunnow.net, I'm going to put all these videos here. And if you go to our debates area, hold your mouse over more right here. See how you do it? And then you go down to debates and debates 2, and you're going to see these debates that look like this. These are debates where I was, like this one here. This is really good. I'll talk to you about that one. This is really good here too. But this one here is excellent also. And in debate, you're going to hear that atheists will say, well, they're one with the universe, and when they die, they go back to the universe. If you ever have an atheist tell you that, you need to tell them to say, well, that's not good news, because science, say it with me, folks, science. Don't you love science? As a Christian, I love how modern science is on our side. Modern science is totally against the madness of atheism. Let me tell you what modern science says. Modern science has said that the universe and everything in it is going to die. That is, unless God steps in. So when an atheist says, well, when I die, I'm going to go back to the universe. Well, that's not good news. That means that the atheist is going to die, and everything they did in life was just madness. There was nothing that anyone's going to remember. Everything dies. In fact, in many of my debates, the atheists try to get all, should I say, spiritual. And they want to say that they're going to go back to the universe and they become one with the universe. Hitchens used to say this. I guarantee you Hitchens is not one with the universe right now. Now, when I say Hitchens, I'm talking about Christopher Hitchens. Peter Hitchens, however, left the madness of atheism. He was an atheist and now he's a Christian. Look up Peter Hitchens and do some investigation and research with Peter Hitchens. He would agree wholeheartedly that the 17 things I'm going through with you are some reasons why no rational person should be atheist. So number 15 is atheists will say that they go back to the universe and they try to make it like it's all almost like a spiritual experience they're going to have. No, it's not, because if you're going to go back to the universe, then that means the end result of your life as an atheist is death. Meaningless, purposeless death. Let's go to number 14, folks. In this debate right here, where's it at here? I'm debating this atheist, and he says, this one right here, this atheist, excuse me, he's talking about how there's evil in the world, and then he's saying because of the evil in the world, his claim was, therefore God doesn't exist. But I don't understand why he would think that. I mean, every Christian expects evil to be in the world because we know that there's a Satan. We also know that we're in a fallen world. Now, the state of mankind is fallen, due to sin. So when an atheist says, yeah, but there's evil in the world, therefore God doesn't exist, it doesn't really faze a theist at all. As a Christian theist, I'm not fazed by the atheist saying there's evil in the world. In fact, on atheism, there shouldn't even be evil in the world, because an atheist will tell you and I to our face that we're just animals and there is no soul, there is no objective right or wrong, right? So when an atheist says that there's evil in the world, they're like the man that accidentally puts his head in a noose and hangs himself, or the man that's sawing off a tree limb while he's still sitting on it, and then he plunges to his death. When an atheist says there's evil in the world, he's like Wile E. Coyotes. He straps the rocket onto his back and he accidentally launches himself off to the cliff down into the ravine to his certain doom. So when an atheist says to you that there's evil in the world, that's a very theistic claim that they're making, because on atheism there should be no evil in the world. When a lion, kills a zebra, he's not really murdering the zebra, you see, in the animal kingdom. If we're all animals, then why would an atheist say that there's evil in the world? So by evil being in the world, this is more proof and evidence. Say it with me, folks. Don't you love those words? Proof and evidence. There's more proof and evidence on the side of Christianity when an atheist claims there's evil in the world. Matter of fact, speaking of proof and evidence, do you know the Atheist Experience Show here was asked to provide some proof and evidence that would show atheism is accurate and correct? You want to know what their answer was? You're going to laugh. Go here to shotgunow.net and scroll all the way down here, right here where it says Shock Radio, and this click right here, and you could hear them giving their answer that they always give. You know what? I really would hope that many of you could call the Atheist Experience Show and get them to answer that question. I've been asking that question for atheists all around the world. Here's the question: what proof and evidence can you provide that would prove that atheism is accurate and correct? Do you know no one's ever answered that question? They'll talk about Santa Claus, they'll talk about unicorns, they'll talk about the spaghetti monster, they'll talk about all these things, but they'll never provide some rational proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. For example, if you want to hear me call into some TV shows and radio shows asking that question, and you'll hear them run and hide into the atheists will run and hide and hop in their little bunny hole and run from the question. Here's one right here. Notice it says, on this call the host panics and hangs up on me. Maybe it was an accident. So I call back and they hang up again. Where's another one here? This one right here. The funniest video in the world. Listen to this one right here. In fact, there's a wise lady in the audience. She asked the atheist, you know how in a debate and the question and answer period you could ask a question? She asked the atheist, you know, what proof and evidence do you have that atheism is accurate and correct? I kid you not, in this video the atheist says boxer shorts. When you watch the video, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, you know, he really is saying boxer shorts prove that atheism is accurate and correct. Atheism is madness, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we talked about how they'll say there's evil in the world, right? Well, let's talk about another claim that atheists will say, that people have died because of religion. Do you know that more people have died because of atheism? More people have been brutally murdered, raped, and just the atrocities that have happened under atheism? Do you know in the past 100 years, ladies and gentlemen, over 259 million people have been murdered, killed, raped through the evil atheist regimes? Let me go through some of them for you. Not all of them, there's more of them, but Stalin, Pol Pot, Mao, Kim Jong-il, the Khmer Rouge, and more. I can go on and on and on. If you'd like to see the list of the evil atheist regimes that have done this, do not be faithless but believe. Go to shotgunow.net and you'll see over 259 million brutal murders under the atheist regimes. In fact, atheism has murdered more people than religion ever could do. And do you know most of the wars under the banner of religion, when you really research them, they weren't really over religion. It was over land. If you look at some of the wars with Israel and you know, their neighbors, it's not really over whether someone wears a yarmulke or spins a dreidel or the Quran or something. Most of it's over land grabs. And but if you research the atheist regimes, I mean, these guys, it was because of atheism. Over 259 million brutal murders under the evil atheist, yes, ladies and gentlemen, objectively evil atheist regimes of Stalin, Pol Pot, Kim Jong-il, the Khmer Rouge, Mao. I can go on and on and on. shotgunow.net. Go to shotgunow.net, check it out. So number 13 was, in the past 100 years, over 259 million just atrocities, murders under the evil atheist regimes. You know, I used to be an atheist, and I was very ashamed of the evil that atheism has done. Now, one of the things that the Agnostic Experience Show, we shouldn't call them the Atheist Experience Show anymore. Notice up here it says, rumor has it the Atheist Experience Show will be changing their name to the Agnostic Experience Show, because now they're not atheistic against the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I'm telling you guys, go here to shotgunl.net, scroll down here, and they're admitting that Jesus could have risen from the dead on an atheist show. So, we're going to have to I'm not going to call them the Atheist Experience Show. I'm going to call them the Theist Experience Show or the Agnostic Experience Show. And I would hope that you guys pray that the Atheist Experience Show, or should we say the Theistic Experience Show, stays on the air for a long time. They're bringing so many people to Christian theism. This video here, and it's not me calling the show, it's another Christian calling the show. This video here is the best video I've ever seen on YouTube. For a Christian to call up an atheist show, of course I know it's now a theistic or agnostic show, and to get them to admit that yes, Jesus could have resurrected is phenomenal. And so God bless the Atheist Experience Show for becoming more theistic. You need to show this clip to your atheist friends. Tell them, do not be faithless, but believe. Heck, even the Atheist Experience Show is saying that Christianity can be true and Jesus could have resurrected. Okay, one of the things that atheists will say is that they'll say atheism's the default position. Well, this is just not true. The majority of the world are theist, and the largest group, of course, is Christian theist. So it doesn't really seem to make sense that atheism is the default position when well over 90% of the world are theist. Atheism is not the default position. Theism, right now in the year 2014 going on 2015, theism is the default position. And I think, now don't get me wrong, I'm glad that atheists are saying that they're the default position, because while they're sitting back, theism is taking over the world. Do you know right now Christianity is exploding in China? And with a population like China, there's no way the atheists are ever going to catch up. Africa, huge country of Africa, beautiful people in China, beautiful people in Africa. Of course, what's amazing is in China, for example, they have an official atheistic government, and the Christians over in China, they're not letting the atheistic government stop them from worshiping God. Same thing in Africa. So Christianity is exploding. People will gravitate towards truth. And even if you try to crush truth to the ground, truth, when it's crushed to the earth, will rise again. And no lie can last forever. This is why theism rules the world. Isn't it great to be on the winning team? I think so. So number 12, which just doesn't make sense, and atheists say this all the time, is that atheism is the default position. Well, it doesn't seem like the rest of the world, the rational world, agrees with that atheism's the default position when over 90% of the world are theists. That, my friends, is the default position. Atheism's but a squeak, or maybe half a squeak in the world. Okay, in this debate here, we're going to talk about number 11 now, the unicorn. Every single time you're talking to an atheist, they have this knee-jerk reaction to talk about the unicorn. Now, they'll bring up in the Bible that the Bible, and let me get that debate for you, they'll say that the Bible refers to this species of unicorn. The problem for atheists is that unicorn in the Bible is referring to a species, here it is right here, of rhinoceros. You can go into any library where you live right now, within your city or your county or wherever, close by, and go in there and look up rhinoceros unicorn. And you know what uni stands for. And the unicorn in scripture is referring to a rhinoceros. It's not referring to like the pink My Little Pony unicorn. And one of the things that atheists do a lot, it's either due to dishonesty or ignorance, is they'll actually really think that it's a pink little My Little Pony unicorn, with all the little stars flying around it and stuff. They'll actually think that. And this is usually like kids that will think that, that are talking about atheism. But the adults tend to know that it's not talking about a My Little Pony type unicorn. It's talking about a species of rhinoceros. You can do the search right now on the internet, type in unicorn, a species of rhinoceros. You'll get all types of hits on that. And but the problem though that atheists do is they will twist scripture somewhat like their father did, and they'll try to say that the unicorn is a My Little Pony pink unicorn. And you can hear one atheist twist scripture right here in this debate. In this debate, you're going to hear him say, and what do we say about, because the guy's like British, so he's like, and what do we say about the Bible? It mentions unicorns. You see what he says? He's trying to dishonestly sway the audience. You can kind of play it back. We're in a giant conference room and there's all these people in there listening to the debate. So later on in the debate, I say, well, you know that it's not a My Little Pony pink unicorn, it's a rhinoceros, right? And he goes, oh yeah, I knew that. And I do believe that he didn't know it. But why then would you in debate try to tell the audience that the Bible is saying it's a horse? It's not saying it's a horse. It's saying it's unicorn. So he later on admits that he knew that, and I call him out on the carpet, and I'm like, well, this is what's dishonest about you atheists, is you try to confuse people, somewhat like your father, when it comes to scripture. So number 11 is the problem of the unicorn thing they always bring up. They are either ignorant of what it means in scripture, or they're not ignorant and they're being dishonest. Either way, that's not good for atheism. Another thing too is, have you ever noticed atheists will say that they're atheists because they'll say God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, so God has something against gays or something. You ever notice that? Or they'll say, well, I don't want to be a Christian because they think gays should have the right to get married or something. That's kind of weird to me that you're going to become atheist because God's opinion on something. Another thing too is, because you disagree with God on what he thinks is right and what he thinks is wrong, the rational world, people like you and I, right? You listening to this video and I, when we hear an atheist saying, well, I'm an atheist because God doesn't want gays to get married or whatever, we don't think, oh, God doesn't exist then. What we think is, oh, well, they want gays to get married and they're mad because God disagrees with that. So this whole thing about saying that God is evil because he doesn't let gays get married, or because he's destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah and all this, it doesn't really faze a theist. Now, if someone is more prone to that lifestyle, of course they're going to reject God, or they're going to be against God. But those people weren't going to come to God anyways, because if you want to come to God, you want to do what God says in his commandments, and you want to please God. So that just doesn't make sense, how they'll say God is evil and all this, and it's just ridiculous. So number 10 is how atheists will say God is evil. You guys can see how irrational that is, because then you can't really say you're an atheist. You're a theist. You just don't worship God. You're saying he's evil, he obviously exists. Let's go to number 9. TV shows, radio shows, blogs. Atheists just don't get it. They will create TV shows bashing God. They'll create radio shows bashing God. They'll create blogs bashing God. They spend every waking hour of the day bashing God, and then they wonder why the rational world doesn't believe them when they say that they don't believe God exists. Right. They spend all their life bashing God on TV shows, to blogs, radio, YouTube. They spend their whole life doing this, and then they expect, people like you and I, rational people, to say, wow, they're spending all this time bashing something that doesn't exist. Right. Sure, that makes sense. No one's buying it. Number 9 is it just doesn't make sense that atheists create TV shows, radio shows, blogs, all these things, bashing God. Oh, but he doesn't exist. Right, atheist. Right. Good luck with that concept. I had a video, I think I still have it on my channel, and it's called The Atheist God Exposed, right? And what it is, it's a big thumbs down button. Because even if you're talking about God on your video, they'll thumb your button down, the like button or the thumbs down button. So they do have a God here on YouTube. Now, unfortunately for them, it's in the shape of a thumbs down button if you have a Christian video. Number 8. Ever since I came to YouTube, I've been on YouTube for years, I've been asking atheists one question. Provide proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. Christians have evidence. We have science. We have the cosmological argument. We have the teleological argument. We have DNA, which is empirical proof of design. We have prophecies in Scripture that came true. We have objective moral values. We have prophecies that not only came true, we have prophecies coming true right in front of our eyes as the New World Order rears its head as we move into the year 2015. We can go on and on and on about proof and evidence. But when you ask atheists, I've been asking the Atheist Experience show, I've been asking radio shows, this show here with the mean atheist face on it right here. Listen to that. I asked the atheist, what proof and evidence do you have that atheism is accurate and correct? And I kid you not, you know what his answer is? His answer is, well, because he says so. That's what he says. He uses that phrase, because he says so. Now, sometimes atheists will say, well, atheism is accurate and correct because they don't believe in God. Well, we don't believe that they don't believe. I have absolutely no doubt that the atheists believe in God. Their actions prove to me that they believe in God. Their obsession with God proves to me that they believe. There's more proof that they believe than there's proof and evidence that they don't believe. But let's say an atheist says that they don't believe in God, and let's say you're in the Christian faith, you're in the Christian religion, you're following Christ, and let's say they disagree with Christianity, and let's say you disagree with atheism. Well, you both can't be right. One of you can be right, but you both can't be right. So just because an atheist says they disagree with Christianity, it doesn't by default mean that Christianity is not true. Otherwise, you could have a Muslim use the same exact argument against atheists. A Muslim could say, well, I disagree with atheism, therefore Islam is true. You see how they could say that? This is why proof and evidence is so important, and I'm telling you, atheists never supply any. I have yet to be given even a grain of sand of proof and evidence from an atheist. Yet, when I was an atheist myself, and I left the madness of atheism for Christianity, for sanity and truth, do you know what's great about being a Christian is you can accept modern science. You don't have to twist and turn things to match your worldview. You can just be honest and accept what modern science claims. But the atheists at one time, they said that the universe was eternal and uncaused, and now science has shown that they're wrong. The universe had a beginning, and we know whatever begins to exist has a cause. This is a problem for atheists because they either have to say God did it or nothing did it. Put 1,000 people in front of me. 1,000 people that are rational, and I'm going to ask them, what do you think created the universe? God did it or nothing did it? I guarantee you, by far the majority would say God did it. Nothing did it is what the atheists got. They don't want to say God did it. They want to say nothing did it. That's just how crazy atheism is getting right now. When you go to shakanow.net and you hold your mouse over more and you go to debates, you'll see a debate right here. Well, let's click it, shall we? Let me show you. And once you click debates, you're going to see this debate here where atheist Lawrence Krauss fails miserably in debate. Dr. William Lane Craig cleans his clock in debate. And Krauss is trying to convince the audience that nothing created everything. Really. This is how insane atheism makes people, that they would think nothing created everything. Nothing is the absence of anything. If you have a job and it's payday and the boss gives you nothing, would you be happy with that? Of course not. Nothing is the absence of anything. It can't think, it can't create. But given the choice, this is how sad atheism is. This is why atheism just doesn't make sense. Given the choice between God did it or nothing did it, the atheists are going to fall on their sword and they're going to say nothing did it. Just shameful. Let's go back to the main page. But this is what they got to do, folks. This is what they got to do. You know, there is no proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. The Atheist Experience Show will not answer that question. I challenge you guys, try to get them to answer the question, what proof and evidence can you provide that atheism is accurate and correct? Now, we don't want to hear about what they said here. You're going to hear them, well, I might as well just tell you, they're obsessing about Santa Claus right here on the show. So usually when you ask them what proof and evidence do you have that atheism is accurate and correct, they'll talk about Santa Claus. Look up Santa Syndrome on YouTube and you'll see why they do that. Let's go to number 7, folks. We were just talking about that. Science. You know, science proves that atheism is not true. On this show right here, you know that video I was telling you about that was, here it is right here. Where is it? Oh, I got to scroll up. Hold on. There it is. This video. On this video right here, the Christian caller uses science to get the atheist to concede that Jesus' resurrection can be true. I repeat, the Christian caller uses science to get the Atheist Experience Show, I'm sorry, the Theistic Experience Show, to admit that Jesus' resurrection can be true. Not impossible, but possible, on an atheist show. Go to shakanow.net, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they look so sad. They're realizing that atheism is madness in its purest form. Right now they're thinking, why are they even on the show when they're admitting that Jesus could have walked out of that tomb and resurrected? Okay. Let's hope this show stays on a long time. They're bringing so many people to Christian theism. Science is against modern atheism. Ladies and gentlemen, DNA is empirical proof of design. It's a language. The atheists have to convince the world that DNA just created itself by dumb luck and chance. You know, people just don't have enough blind faith to believe in that. They want proof and evidence. And this is what's awesome about modern science. It's exciting to be a Christian in the year 2014 going on the year 2015 and know that modern science is on your side. Do you know the Christians have always said, if you open up the Bible, it says in the beginning, and it talks about God creating the universe. So it is a Christian idea that the universe had a beginning. But do you know the old outdated science of old was not in agreement with Christianity. scientists used to think, incorrectly so, they were incorrect, they used to think that the universe was just eternal. But now do you know Christians have been vindicated by modern science? Thank God for modern science. Let's leave the old, outdated horse and buggy days of Darwinism. Darwin didn't even know what DNA was or what the cell was. He didn't even know the complexity of the cell. It's time we leave the outdated and untrue neo-Darwin days of the horse and buggy behind, and let's move forward where the Christians are going with modern science. This video right here, Christian caller uses science to get the theistic experience show to admit that Jesus' resurrection can be true. This leads me to the next problem, which you're going to hear on this video. Evolution, atheists will say, proves that God doesn't exist. What? No. When we talk about evolution, there's microevolution and there's macroevolution. Macroevolution has not been proven. The only thing that has been proven is micro, but not macro. Microevolution is change within limits, but that's a very creationist idea. Creationists have always embraced change within limits. You know how you have different types of horses, different breeds of dogs, different types of cats, but we don't see cats becoming horses. A bat and a whale are both mammals and vertebrates. Think of all the transitional fossils that would have to exist for a bat and a whale to share common ancestry, and we don't have those fossils. We should have millions and millions of transitional fossils. If you go to more here and you click debates, or look for a debate, yeah, it's right here, and you click debates and you'll see it there where I debated and I defeated Steve Likes to Curse. That's his name on YouTube, and he admitted that I won the debate, but I won because I have proof and evidence on my side, and he didn't really give any proof and evidence for his atheism. But one of the errors he made is he said that every fossil is a transitional fossil transitioning into another species. But this is just not true. We have multiple fossils of elephants, multiple fossils of horses. We have these multiple fossils. We don't see them transitioning into something else. We don't have these transitional fossils. So the atheist will say that every fossil is a transitional fossil, but that's just not true. Macroevolution is not true. The only thing that has been proven is creation. We have change within limits. Go here. I want to show you something. This video right here, and listen to this video. This is from our shock radio segment, where we go through what modern scientists are saying, that macroevolution is not true, and the neo-Darwinian theory is toast. It's over. It is over. They cannot prove that Darwinism is true. And now with the discovery of DNA, do you know Francis Crick, who's the co-discoverer of DNA? He talks about DNA being a miracle. He uses the word miracle. He's saying that for life to be created here on this planet, he says almost like a miracle happened. You've got to listen to this video here. This is a good 28 minutes long, where we go through proof and evidence where evolution is toast. It totally is toast. So when an atheist says that evolution proves that God doesn't exist, there is nothing in evolution, or I should say the theory of evolution, because it hasn't been proven yet at all. Just micro, which is just creation. Microevolution is proven, but that's just creation. Change within limits. There's nothing in evolution that proves that God doesn't exist. So I don't know why they say that. And where are the millions of transitional fossils, folks? if you want to see an atheist squirm, ask them, how many transitional fossils have we discovered? You ask 10 different atheists that, you'll get 10 different answers. Let's go to number 5, objective morality. Do you know if atheism were true, there would be no such thing as good or evil? Because an atheist wants us to believe that we're all just animals and everything is subjective. I was debating an atheist one time, and we were talking about objective morality, and he said that there is no such thing as evil and there is no such thing as good. And I was showing him on the worldview of Christian theism, you could ground good and evil. You could have objective moral values based on God's commands to us, and also Scripture says that God's written His law within our hearts. And Jesus even talks about when He's leaving, when He's going to be crucified and resurrected, He says, it's better that I go so I could send the Helper. And when He comes, He will convict the world of sin, righteousness, and judgment. And He says, sin, because they do not believe in me. Because, all sins are forgiven through Christ. And He goes, righteousness, because I go to the Father, and judgment, because the prince of this world has been judged, referring to Satan. But this Helper, which it's amazing that is sent into the world, is for unbelievers. It's for people that reject God, people that are atheists that reject God. I'm not saying non-believers, because I do know that they know God exists. I'm saying unbelievers. They're rejecting God. Read the first 2 or 3 pages of Romans. It talks about atheists right there. It talks about them. But this objective morality is a problem for atheists, because you can't in atheism say that something's evil or something's good. And in a debate I was having with an atheist, I think it was this one right here, I asked the atheist, is rape wrong? Is it objectively wrong? And then he said it's subjective, right? And now this was on live radio. I couldn't believe that he was not embarrassed or ashamed to say what he said, on the radio. But I had my second salvo of arrows to shoot at him if he were to fall on his sword and say that it's subjective. And that, if you ask an atheist that, is rape subjectively wrong or objectively wrong? And he said it's subjectively wrong. So I said, well, then in what case is it okay? And he would have to then answer on live radio and defend his atheism and why would rape be okay on atheism. And then he switched and he said, okay, it's never okay. So you see, it's objectively wrong. And so he goes ballistic and he gets mad at me because I paint him in the corner, and he has to finally come to admit that it is wrong in all instances. See the one right here where there's a picture of God reading a book. It says Atheism 101, and all the angels are laughing, and God's like, oh wait, there's even more, and they're all laughing at the book. Atheism 101. Listen to that debate right here that I did live on the radio at TCP Radio. So objective moral values is a big problem for atheists. Let's go to number 4, folks. Santa Claus. Atheists are obsessed with Santa Claus. And I have researched this. It's been written up in so many medical journals. It's called Santa Syndrome. Dennis Prager was talking about it. Dennis Prager was talking about Santa Syndrome on the radio. But Santa Syndrome is when a young child finds out there's no Santa, and this is why atheists always talk about Santa Claus. So the next time you're talking to an atheist and they bring up Santa Claus, I want you to tell them this story. Say, you know what? Or just send them this video. If they talk about Santa Claus, send them this video. Because we've discovered, and we've done a lot of medical research to discover this. This has been peer-reviewed, folks. We've discovered that Santa Claus causes atheism. See, when a little boy or little girl finds out there's no Santa Claus, it does something to them. It destroys their make-believe world. And they're so hurt by it and they're so sad by it that they take it out on God. This is why when you're talking to an atheist about God, they get these flashbacks to their childhood when they found out there's no Santa, and that's why they get real sad. They go, well, what about Santa Claus? And you're like, why is this guy talking about Santa Claus when we're talking about God, the creator of the universe? You know, it's Santa syndrome. That's all it is. And some people, because you know, when you're a little kid, a lot of kids they really go overboard with Santa Claus. It's like sugary candy for a little kid. You know, they get too much sugar in them and they go crazy. And when a child finds out that there is no Santa, sometimes this will happen to them, and then they grow up and they become atheist. So I strongly encourage parents, do not tell your kids that they're Santa. You don't want them growing up to be atheists and stuff. But that's all it is. It's Santa syndrome. Now, listen to this. On this call here, I call into a radio show and I ask the atheist, this middle video here, I ask him what proof and evidence does he have, and he starts talking about Santa Claus. And I have to tell him, look, dude, you got Santa syndrome. So I tell him this on the radio, and live radio, everyone's listening, and the atheist had Santa syndrome. Now, look for a video called Steve Likes to Curse. Well, wait a minute. I think I have it here. Let's go to my debate section here. Where's the debates area? Let's see if I can find it for you. All right, here it is right here, folks. Just type this in when you do a search. Atheist Steve Likes to Curse, loses debate to Christian shock of God. Type that in right there. Atheist Steve Likes to Curse, loses. Or type those three phrases, and remember, it's Steve Likes the number 2 curse, loses. This was an hour and 15-minute long debate, and the atheist loses. But here's one of the problems why he lost. I was going through the teleological argument with Steve, and if you ever have looked up the teleological argument, it is phenomenal. It really is a thorn in the side for atheists because they can't figure out how to answer it. And I'm going to show you where to get that. Go to look for it. Go to shockandnow.net, hold your mouse over more, and click links right here, the second one down, and watch this. Let's see. And then what you do is you go here to where it says fine-tuned constants, and you click that. Let's click that. Now what's amazing about this, and I'm going to read some of this to you, it says, recent studies have confirmed the fine-tuning of the cosmological constant, also known as dark energy. This cosmological constant is a force that increases with the increasing size of the universe. It was first hypothesized by Albert Einstein. The cosmological constant was rejected by him because of lack of real-world data. However, recent supernova data demonstrated the existence of a cosmological constant. Now, this is just one of many. But if you look at this list, these are all things that had to be created just right. They had to be balanced just right. They're all called constants. And if they weren't, then life on Earth would not exist. Planets would not exist. Stars would not exist. Look, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, gravitational force constant, the ratio of electromagnetic force constant to gravitational force constant. There's all of these fine-tuned constants. Imagine like you're going to make a cake, and you have to have all the ingredients in the cake the right way in order for the cake to turn out right. Well, this is similar, but even more complex, of course, than a cake. Similar, the constants had to be just so in order for us to have life on the planet here, and even for Earth to even exist. So remember that. These constants had to exist and had to be active even before Earth was created. So here's the problem. Let's go back. So when you go to shotgunnow.net, click links and go here to where it says fine-tune constants. It's harder for me I can't even doubt that God exists. I never doubt. And I think if people would also look at the fine-tuned constants, what happens is you become stronger in your confidence that God exists. Let's go click home right here. Let's take you to the main page. So in that debate with Steve Likes to Curse, he was trying to say, well, we evolved into the earth. We evolved into the earth, so the fine-tuning is irrelevant. But he's wrong, isn't he? Because there would be no earth for even his argument to work. There would be no earth without the fine-tuning. The fine-tuning happens first. So what's great about the fine-tuning is an atheist cannot use the evolution, Darwinism argument, because this fine-tuning does a complete end run around the atheist argument. The atheist cannot battle fine-tuning. There's really only a few reasons why the fine-tuning is there. It's either dumb luck and chance, or physical necessity, or design. Those are the only three reasons why the fine-tuning is there, those constants that we're talking about. Now, if your atheist friend says, well, I can come up with another reason, hey, let them bring one up. I have yet to hear any other reason besides those three. But let's go through them together. Without the fine-tuning, we wouldn't even have life here on our planet. Dinesh D'Souza, he defeated Christopher Hitchens in a debate, and Dinesh D'Souza is a Christian, and here's what he said. He uses this analogy. It's like there's 10 dials on a computer screen, these 10 little dials on a computer, I should say, and God's in there and he's controlling everything, and he steps out of the room, and it would be like if we went in there and we moved one of the dials, no matter which one, just say hair's breadth, we would destroy life. Life would be impossible. So let's go through this. It's either dumb luck or chance. That's why the universe is fine-tuned for life here on our planet. Or physical necessity, like there's something in the laws that just these natural laws that would cause those constants to be that way, or it's design. Well, let's start off with physical necessity. Science can find nothing in natural law why these laws would be this way. There's nothing, there's no natural law that would show why these constants, I should say, should be this way. It's almost like they're created that way, like a mind, a brilliant mind, fine-tuned the universe, which is, of course, what most people believe. I believe that too. Well, we only have two other choices, right? We know it's not due to physical necessity. There's nothing in natural law that would cause these constants to be that way. What about dumb luck or chance or design? Well, let's go to dumb luck or chance. Chance does not create. Chance does not create or fine-tune. Let me give you an example. Chance is just a mathematical equation that we use for certain things or certain events. Let's say you and I are on a basketball court, and you're half a court away, you're in the middle of the court, I should say, mid-court, and you throw the basketball and you make it in. And let's say you did that 5 times in a row, okay? One-handed, you did it. You made the basketball in 5 times in a row. Now, it would not be rational or correct to say chance did it, because chance doesn't have any power. You did it. Your arm, through the physical action of your arm, you threw the ball through the hoop. You see what I'm saying? Chance doesn't do it. Chance doesn't do anything. Chance is powerless. Chance is just a mathematical equation we give. Let's say you threw the basketball 10 times and 5 of them made it in and the other 5 didn't. Chance is just a mathematical we use. Well, we could say out of 10 times you made it in 5 times. But chance didn't do it. Chance didn't put the ball through 5 times. So dumb luck and chance is not what created these fine-tuned constants. It's either due to dumb luck or chance, physical necessity, or design. Those are the only 3 choices. This is a rational argument. It makes sense. Since the fine-tuning of the universe is obviously not due to a physical necessity or any type of natural law, and it's obviously not due to dumb luck and chance, it therefore follows that the fine-tuning is due by design. Ladies and gentlemen, atheism just doesn't make sense. Now, I encourage you to watch this video. Scroll down and watch this video simply titled Atheist. You're going to see me on a motorcycle here, and I'm going to go through not 1 reason, not 5 reasons, not 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 reasons why I left atheism to become a Christian. These are 18 reasons why Christianity is true. Now, I can come up with more than 18, but I only have so much battery power on my helmet cam when I'm riding the motorcycle. 18 reasons why Christianity is true. 18 pieces of proof and evidence. Now, folks, we just went through 17 reasons why atheism just doesn't make sense. Please, stop by our website, shotgunnow.net. I'm going to give you some free gifts right now. Got some free audiobooks. Listen to this audiobook here. You could download it. The Secret to Getting Rich. There's nothing wrong with being rich if you do it honestly and by helping people. This is an epic audiobook, 100% free. Right here where it says download The Secret to Getting Rich audiobook. Click here where it says, oh yes, it's free, for more free things, games, software, antivirus programs. And then notice, oh yes, it's free number 2. We have our free area part 2. We got so much free things for you. And then these are live people at the website, and they are, a matter of fact, let's see if I can play a game here. We're going to play a game of pool. So it's going to match me up. So this person's actually on the website right now, and they're going to break. So let's see. Okay. So he's using the mouse. He's going to pull the cube. Okay, so he's solids, right? See the ball going in there? Now watch when it's my turn. So I want you guys to stop by shotgunnow.net, and you could, boy, he just got another one in. 3, he's already ahead 3. So I'm stripes. Wait, all right, he just hit one of mine in. Okay, so watch, I'm going to go for, oh wait, no, I can't hit that one in. I'm stripes, right? So we're going to try hitting that one in right here. Huh? Not bad, huh? Let's try hitting this one in. No! Oh, dang it. Let's see if it's, oh, it's still my turn. Okay. Let's see. Well, stop by shotgunnow.net, you guys, and I'm going to do one last little hit here. If this makes it in, then we'll keep playing the game. If I miss, then we'll end the video. Here we go. And we're going to end the video. Stop by shotgunnow.net. Try your hand at a game of pool. Please do me a favor, guys. If you want me to keep making these videos, I appreciate if you click share below this video. And, oh, wait a minute. The guys, I forgot I have a game going on here. Click share below this video, and oh, he still has the cue. And send this to your sweet, cuddly, huggable, lovable atheist friends. And may God bless the Atheist Experience Show, guys. Or should we say, where are they? Oh, here they are. The Theistic Experience Show. Okay, hold on. My time's running out here. They only give me so long to. Hey, wait a minute. I can't end the video now. We're right down at the end. Look, there's the 8-ball and then this one here. So I'm going to try a bank shot. Uh-oh. So now it's his turn. We're both tied, right? So he's got this in the 8-ball and I have the stripe in the 8-ball. Whoa, we got that one now. I don't know how he's gonna try to hit it right here. This guy's good. Good game. Stop by shotgunnow.net, folks. Get in the game. When you log into the site, there should be, oh, here it is right here. Here's our little schedule events here, and you can actually play people live. Just remember, when you go there, what you want to do is click play as guest. Play as guest, and you don't have to sign up or anything. You can just play as a guest. God bless you guys. I love you. This has been 17 reasons why atheism just doesn't make sense. And join our live pool game here. This is where you hit play as guest.